Happy Thursday and welcome to Morning Mix, everybody.
Hey, it's a Thursday.
Yes,
Man, this week is really flying by, though.
This week couldn't get done fast enough. I could tell you that right now.
And it's another cold start to our day, okay? A freezing start, actually, it's safe to say. Yeah, we're still seeing those freezing temps, and I came in layers yet again.
I learned from yesterday morning I gave my car time to warm up.
Oh.
I walked out, I'm like, start, go, and then run back into the house. Yes.
You need that.
No, you'd have to do that.
I did not do that this
love
morning.
Seat heaters, greatest invention of the 20th and 21st century.
I agree.
I'll go along with that.
I know, I agree with that. And steering wheel as well. Mine warms up.
The car I just got does have one, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know mine
that's
had
an
it for a
added
while
extra.
until my dad was like, "Are you using that feature?" I'm like, "No." But I will now.
I never knew what that button was for.
Yeah, now we know.
Yeah, exactly. How are you? You doing good?
I'm doing okay. Are you?
It's not as chilly here in the studio now.
I think it's still cool. But
Well, yeah, I am also wearing a sweater. I'm wearing 3
You're
layers.
layered today.
So my argument is invalid. So, okay.
I know. I woke up today and I was just like, what long sleeve outfit do I have? And now I'm realizing I need more long sleeves in my wardrobe.
Well, I know what to get
to
you
keep up with this weather. But hey, we have Mikkel in with us this morning, and
Yes, we
hopefully
do.
he gives us good news. I know we're going to have a warm up, but that also brings rain, so we're going to see some rain too.
Yeah, I'm curious if there are going to be more announcements about either delays or postponements or cancellations for some of the events this weekend that are going to be outside. So we'll see.
I know one that happened yesterday, and we just talked to him, I think earlier this week, Jordan Johnson with Grovetown. They actually moved theirs. So it's not happening Saturday anymore. It's happening next weekend, okay? I don't remember it's Friday or Saturday, but we do have it posted on our website. So just make sure you're going to our website, because as soon as we know, we are updating those articles, because this weekend, as you know, it's going to rain.
Right.
So stay tuned.
But there are a lot of events that are happening inside, so we'll tell you about those as well, too.
Yes.
We got a couple events that are coming up, and we got a couple of great interviews here for you this morning that we're going to tell you about and give you some information on what's happening around the area. Let's go ahead and get on into things right now. Speaking of the holidays, it's a great gift for the beer lover in your family here. Miller Lite is selling this beer cracker. It's a beer cracker for this holiday season. Now, it looks like the classic nutcracker that we all know and love, right?
That's right. But instead of cracking nuts, it's cracking open beers, right? It has 2 beer openers, one in the mouth, another in the removable hat. The beer crackers are on sale through December 1st, so get it now, right? Oh, yeah, today's the last day of November, by the way.
Yeah.
That really puts things into perspective. So if you're going to get that, get it today for $30 on Miller Lite's website.
This is the cracking of a beer that I know. That's the only one I can do.
Sure, yeah.
I never try to do it that way.
Ooh.
It's November 30th. Where did the year go?
I didn't think about it till this morning. Nick said something about it being the last day of November, and I said, oh, tomorrow's December 1st. Yeah, so speaking of this, if you're interested, you have until tomorrow to get it. I'm not really a beer drinker, so it's not on my list, but I know a lot of people who are, so maybe it's a gift.
That's a novelty item for me.
For someone
as far
else.
as like, I never liked nutcrackers anyway. Like, everybody would always have them at their house, and they'd have them by like the fireplace, or they'd have them around the kitchen table. They freaked me out when I was a kid. Just not cool. It was like that clown from the movie Poltergeist. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I mean. No. So don't get me a nutcracker for Christmas. I really don't want one, okay?
I can see that freaking people out. I never looked at it that way. But again, this says the girl that had a clown on a swing in the corner of her room when she was younger.
See?
So, yeah.
I always knew there was something crazy about you.
It's porcelain, too.
So now, if you ever wish that you couldn't hear someone eating, speaking of nutcracking, this is for you. This makes me feel like we're not going to survive as an entire race here. Doritos is hoping to cancel noisy crunching using an artificial intelligence program. The technology was trained by recording more than 5,000 crunch sounds. They have that many? So that the software would be able to detect it and mute it.
This is how we spend our time now. Okay, it's available only for gamers right now on Windows. It's intended for gamers playing with others so that the snacking doesn't interrupt the team's performance. But many may be hoping that it will eventually work on phone calls or even better yet, in person too. Okay, so this is funny and I'm making fun of this, but at the same time, even chewing to me, if you chew loud, it can kind of be annoying. And so I know when you're eating something that's loud, not necessarily chips, but for instance, my mom, she was just here, she loves corn nuts, which are really good and they're addicting. If you ever had corn nuts, you can just keep eating those. Those are loud. That's another kind of loud. So the other day, you know, she's talking to me and she's eating these things, and all I kept thinking about was, man, these are actually really loud. And so what do? I'm like, hey, Mom, I want some. And I did want some, but at the same time, I think I was trying to cancel out her sound, and so we'll make sound together. And I told her this, and we just started laughing. But I was like, "This is really good. These are really loud."
Must crunch in rhythm.
Yeah,
yes.
I feel like they're really bad for your teeth too.
Here's another suggestion: chew with your mouth closed.
But when you're eating corn nuts, though, that is loud no matter what.
It resonates outside. I get it.
Loud.
I
yeah,
get it,
no, there's just some things that are loud no matter how you chew.
Look, this is what we have to worry about with gamers, because you're on like an MPG or something. You've got the headphones on, and you just happen to be eating Doritos with your energy drink or whatever it is that they're doing. No, we put a man on the moon. Now we're trying to solve the issues of
yeah, this is
chip
funny.
This
is funny.
No, thank you. I don't want that anymore. All right, we got to move on from this. Look, if your goal is to be true to yourself and not crunch so loudly, well, then you're in step with the word of the year, which, by the way, the word of the year now is authentic. Merriam-Webster says there's been a high volume of lookups for the word for years, but there was a substantial increase for the word authentic. This increase in 2023. The online dictionary citing sources about artificial intelligence, celebrity culture, identity, social media, even Taylor Swift. All of them had the uptick for this year.
Okay, but some of the meanings of authentic include, quote, not false or imitation and true to one's own personality, spirit, or character. Other top words for the year include deepfake, coronation, dystopian, and riz, which means romantic appeal or charm. I've never used that one.
No, I didn't either.
So last year's word of the year was gaslighting, which I feel like at one point it was overused.
Oh, that's like one end of the spectrum to authentic now.
Gaslighting
I much prefer authentic. Nobody wants. You don't want to be. You don't want to gaslight anybody. You don't want to be gaslighted, but you would like to be authentic.
That's true.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You like this? It's a positive word.
I'd say we're ending on a positive note this year. Thank you very much. We're being authentic about this. Okay. That leads us to our social question this morning here. What would you pick as your word of the year? Think on this and be nice. I don't know. I've been trying to think about what my word of the year would be. Exhausted? I don't know. What do you have one?
I think mine would be kind. Short, simple word of the year, kind. You know, I feel, yeah, and again, it's something positive. I always say I think we need more kindness, and even though we go through a lot of times and hardships in our life, you know, we should still try to be kind through it. True. And I think that's something I try to live by, you know. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna go with kind. And look, it's a simple word too. You don't need to Google it. You don't need to look up the definition, because sometimes these word of the year, it's kind of like, what does this mean?
If you don't know what it means, you're not doing it. You're not being it. So.
My word
be the
is
word.
just simple.
Be kind. Kind is. You know what? That is the show word of the year. Kind. I like that. Very good.
Kindness 101 here on Morning Mix. Yeah.
Boom, boom. All right. Tell us yours. We'll check out your words at the end of the show. On the way, we're going to address the status of mental health in our youth, specifically here in our area, and a local group that's dedicated to helping those who need it. That's coming up next here on Morning Mix.
Seems like mid-afternoon to me.
Wow.
Here we go. Yeah. Thanks. All right.
Welcome back to Morning Mix. It's no surprise that there is a mental health crisis in our country and in our area as well. That's where the group Channeled Paths, a local nonprofit organization, comes in to assist. CEO Cheryl Carswell and CFO Philip Stockard are with us this morning to discuss it. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us here this morning.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Cheryl, give us a little description of Channeled Paths and how it came to be.
Okay. Well, being psychotherapists, we were in private practice together. Mr. Stark is my business partner, and we've been in practice for 21 years. And we had Georgia Family Crisis Solutions Counseling Center. And so, being the age that we are, we decided to retire. So we sold that practice and went home to retire. And about a week later, I called Mr. Stockard and I said, I can't do this. So he said, why don't we open Channeled Paths again, which we already had. It was a 501 that we used, allowing interns to counsel children free of charge at our clinic. So we decided to open it again, and we said, what's the greatest need? And it was mental health for children. And so we decided to offer that free of charge to children who are indigent and adults and their families. So that's how it happened to come to be. And so we're excited because service is the greatest gift.
Right.
And we feel like that we're just continuing on what we did for so long and know well.
And we appreciate both of you and what you're doing. Certainly there's a need in our area. Let's talk about some of those numbers.
Oh, yes, definitely. 49% of the youth in Georgia reported at least one day of feeling depressed in the last 30 days. You may not think that's a lot because adults feel depressed sometimes all the time or every day.
Right.
But we know how to cope with it. Children don't. And then 79% of youth in the CSRA report feeling stressed. We know what to do with our stress. A lot of people will eat something or whatever, but they don't know what to do with that stress, so they act out. And this is a staggering number. 9,171 youth in the CSRA have seriously considered attempting suicide. We call that our silent killer.
That's a staggering number. That's a staggering number. And I'm sure we've seen an uptick, especially since COVID as well.
Absolutely.
I mean, no one had seen anything like that within at least 100 years. Philip, how is Channeled Paths able to help those that need that assistance?
Well, as Cheryl mentioned, our primary program is that we take therapists, qualified therapists, and we vet them. We make sure that they practice according to their biggest need. A lot of people don't understand this about therapists, but if you're in a private practice and you're also a business, and the owners of the business say, well, you got to see everybody, whether they're kids, whether they're adults, whether they're families. But a lot of therapists go into the practice with the intention of seeing a particular type of client, whether it's kids, whether it's adults. So in our program, what we intend to do is vet those therapists so that they can see only the types of clients they want to see. Yeah. And we're, as a matter of fact, we're advertising now to get as many therapists as we could possibly get so we can vet them, so we can say, hey, this is the way to actually counsel. If you counsel this way and your preferred clients, well, then you'll do a much better job.
The right tools for the right job.
That's right.
True.
Yeah.
And we use all forms of therapy.
Okay. And as a community, what are some ways that we can help support mental health in children?
Well, as we receive donations. To tell you the truth, we started this business from our own pockets, and that's how committed we are to the success of this business. But we also accept donations. We got a couple of grant writers. We have a consultant, Tanya Gibbons, who's really got us in front of a lot of different people to talk to, collaborations throughout the community, so that we could have a real strong bond and make sure this program is successful. That's the goal.
We've got about a minute left, but I do want to highlight an event that is going to be coming up at the beginning of next year. Tell us about this pickleball challenge.
Go ahead.
Well, as everybody knows, pickleball is the fastest growing sport that I've ever heard. To tell you the truth, before we even understood that, somebody said, hey, we're going to try pickleball. And we thought, pickleball, what's that? Now we realize it's a major growing
This is
sport.
global. Yeah.
Yeah.
So not only have we adopted it as our primary sport for our program, but also on Saturday, on Saturday the 27th of January, excuse me, we're going to have a pickle tournament, and we want everybody to attend this, or just actually go on our website and look on our website and figure out how they can participate, and so we can raise the funds from pickleball.
All right. All the information there on the screen for you, too. Check that out. Folks, thanks so much for joining us here today. Great
you.
information to
You're
share.
We appreciate
Thank
you
you.
and what
Check
you're
that out
doing.
at
Thank you.
channelpaths.org is the place to go to get all the information for that. Let's check in right now with First Alert meteorologist Mikkel Hannah Harding. Dude, you made it cold this morning.
Yeah, the heater got turned off outside. I think.
Yeah, it did.
It did.
Turn it back on, Mikkel.
Turning it back on. The sun should work a little better than it did yesterday. We're looking at a slightly warmer day today. But weather headlines right here, we're just talking about things staying dry. Also looking at a warming trend through Sunday, and then rainfall moving in as we head towards tomorrow. So unfortunately, not the best forecast for the weekend. We're looking at current temperatures right now in the 30s still. So 32 in Crawfordville, they're still at freezing actually. Elsewhere, Washington also at freezing. And then we see most of us, at least in those mid to upper 30s, even a few low and middle 40s out there right now. So a slow warm up will be happening over the course of the next few hours. Heading into midday, we'll find those temperatures a little bit closer towards the 50s, and then we'll see high temperatures in those 60s for today, low 60s though. So still just a smidge below average. We'll keep things mostly sunny to partly cloudy as we have a south wind in between about 3 to 8 miles per hour. As far as low temperatures tonight, we do find those in the upper 30s and low 40s. So above freezing, but still on the chilly side for tomorrow. But at least we're not talking about a hard freeze possible once again. We do have high pressure slowly retreating towards the east, but it'll be close enough to us today to continue a pretty beautiful and dry outlook for your Thursday. The change doesn't happen really until we get into your Friday, as we do expect some rainfall chances to develop possibly as early as before midday, but it seems like those higher rain chances would fall later in our Friday, and then especially by Saturday, expecting that rainfall to become a little bit more widespread. We could see rainfall totals in between 2 to 3 inches when it's all said and done. As we do look ahead through about Sunday, the bulk of that rainfall could actually fall on our Saturday though, so we do have a low flash flood risk in place for that reason, as the Weather Prediction Center does have some high confidence in heavier rainfall intensity on our Saturday that could lead to some minor flooding issues and usual trouble spots. But the 7-day forecast, pretty soggy for the weekend, much improved heading into next week as we cool off Tuesday and Wednesday.
All right, appreciate it, Mikkel.
No problem.
Get your umbrella ready.
Yeah,
That's right.
for sure.
All right, stick around. It's another Healthy Matters here on Morning Mix. We discuss the terrible opioid issues in our community and how to deal with that. We'll be right back.
It's time for our Healthy Matters segment with our friends from the Georgia Department of Public Health. For the last number of months, we've been discussing the medical programs that DPH offers, as well as the other organizations they partner with.
This week, we're discussing the DPH Opioid Public Health Department and the opioid issues we are experiencing here in our area. Joining us is patient navigator Lisa Ann Wheeler, along with Beverly Brown, opioid public health analyst. Ladies, thanks for joining us.
Yes, good morning. Good morning.
Appreciate it. Before we get started to talk about the opioid issues here, let's recap again the Department of Public Health. What is available when it
All
does?
the things that we offer. We offer women's health, child health, vaccinations. We have WIC, which is our Women, Infant, and Children Nutritional Supplement Program. You name it, we have it. So give us a call. Call me if you're searching for any type of healthcare resources or resources in the community. Give me a call and I'll connect you to where you need to go.
Okay, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Lisa
That's
Ann
right.
will get you the right person you need to talk to. Beverly, you're an opioid public health analyst. We just mentioned, of course, opioids is a situation in our area. Can you give us some statistics?
Right now, the #1 cause of death in Richmond County in age 30 to 50 years old is opioid-related overdoses. We are about #5 in ED admissions for overdoses. It is definitely an epidemic. We're here to support the community, and everything that they need is available.
And let's talk about that. Right now on the screen, you just saw a number of the different common types of opioids. How does the Opioid Public Health Department address the situation in our area?
So generally, I go out and I do naloxone education. Naloxone education is important to the community because the opioid epidemic affects any demographic, any socioeconomic status, and generally anyone you know has been affected by it in some way. Naloxone or Narcan is the opioid antidote, and we want to saturate the community with it. I think that everyone should have some in their household.
And that's readily available? I mean, you can contact
You
the
can get it
department?
over the counter, and the local health departments, we do have a limited supply, but I can get you to a point of contact to where you can get some for yourself.
And speaking of, let's talk about the contacts here, how you can contact to get more information concerning that.
So we have the CARES Warm Line, the Georgia Access and Crisis Line. We have dph.georgia.com, the Stop Opioid Addiction, and we have the Suicide and Crisis Line, as well as SAMHSA. SAMHSA is a great resource. It has a link to treatment facilities in the area. There's also a link to you can have a peer support person, someone who's been in long-term recovery, and it's sometimes easier to talk to someone who's going through it.
It's good to know you're not alone.
That's right, and there's so many
Absolutely.
resources in our area. These ladies are a part of those resources. Lisa Ann, the DPH also has a couple of events happening, so let's talk about
We
those.
do today. Oh my goodness. We have an event from 9 to 12. It's called DPH Project Refresh Shower Day. It's not just showers, it's everything. We have clothing, we have haircuts, manicures, hot breakfast, hot lunch, to-go items, and resources. So please come out. It's going to be a wonderful time. Usually it's very, very well attended, so we look forward to seeing everyone.
All right, great. You had that today from 9 to noon, and then right after that, you're hosting a blood drive. at the
Blood
same
drive with the
location.
Blood Connection, yes, from 12 to 5. Please feel free to come out and join us. $70 reward for donating blood. So you could save a life, and then you also get a bonus, $70 in a reward card.
Okay,
Yeah.
why not? So from 12 to 5. And Lisa Ann, I want to mention this because we talked about this a few weeks ago. Needs that you have. If people have things that they want to donate, what are some things that you
Absolutely.
accept?
Right now, coats, hats, and gloves, because each last day of the month, that's when we have our Project Refresh. And of course, December is going to be even colder than November. So please, if you have any coats, gently used, new, please send them my way.
All right, and that number as well, Lisa, can also get you connected with Beverly and the Opioid Public Health Department as well, if you want to call that number too.
Yes.
By that. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us here
Well,
today.
thank
you
you.
for having
Appreciate
me.
it.
All right, when was the last time you visited the museum, right? Well, now's the perfect time to go during the holidays. We'll tell you what's happening at the Augusta Museum of History next on Morning Mix. But right now, we're sending things over to Lisa McCullum with another animal in need of a home with Hilltop Animal Hospital.
Yeah, we're just happy in this warm chair right there.
I'm good. I'm nervous yet again. This is.
You did great, and it went so fast, right?
Y'all are very, very kind. I'm doing
How you doing, Cliff? Good to see you.
Too.
Hey, you're watching Morning Mix. You may have seen the movie, The Polar Express, but have you ever experienced it in real life? No, but I want to. And guess what? You can. Coming up, you'll get the chance at the Augusta Museum of History. We have Crystal Lyon. She's the Education and Social Media Manager at the museum, and she's joining us this morning with all of the fun and info.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you again.
It's good to see y'all too. How are you doing?
Doing well, doing well. And we're
Good.
excited to talk about this. I was just saying, I don't know the last time I watched The Polar Express, but now I want to.
I know, and experience all of the magic of getting on a train that transports you to another place where you can believe. And that's what we do at the museum. Mm-hmm.
Tell us about it. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So this Sunday, the 3rd, and then on the 10th, we have the Museum Express, where kids come in and they are taken back by the conductor to our train. We have the 302 steam engine train in the museum, and they get to sit on the passenger car and hear the story of the Express. And when they go back into the rotunda, they are greeted with cookies and hot cocoa and a special guest from the North Pole. So they're transported to the North Pole by our train. It's really magical. So we're looking forward to it. We have 3 shows this Sunday and then 3 shows the next Sunday. And unfortunately, they're all sold out, but we would love for folks to come and experience the magic too with us during that day. We'll be open to the general public too. So
I remember Laura Warren brought her kids last year.
She did.
And she was showing us the photos. It was absolutely just amazing. All the kids,
lot of
even
kids.
some of the parents had pajamas on.
Yes.
Everybody was having a good time.
All the kids do wear their pajamas, just like the movie and the story. And the rotunda's been turned into like this. There's a toy section and a bakery, so it's a whole little village in the rotunda. It's pretty magical.
Now, in addition to all that, you've always got events that are happening.
Yeah.
It's always family fun at the museum, too. You've got some more scheduled events. Some of them are just monthly. What do you have coming up for December?
So December, we have our Elf on the Shelf scavenger hunt. So I don't know if everybody has had their elves visit, but our little elves arrived today. Gus and Ginger arrived today at the museum.
Okay.
And they have 16 friends also that are hiding in the museum. And we are inviting kids and adults alike to go on a little scavenger hunt and find the elves with Gus and Ginger. So that's going on the entire month of December.
Every day that the museum is
Every
open.
day that it's open, that's right.
The fun does not stop.
Does not stop. That's the time of year we're in.
That's so nice. And working there, what is it like seeing people come in for the very first time and experiencing the Augusta Museum?
There are a lot of oohs and ahs and wows, and there's a lot of, we tell kids, don't run, we don't want you to hurt yourself, but when they see that train, they just run, or when they go upstairs and they hear James Brown's music start, they just run on in. So it's pretty magical. It's a great spot.
It's got to be amazing, too. And you've got some events that are happening coming up in January as well that you're working on.
We sure do. So the Jimmy Diaz Symposium is happening on Thursday. That's January 11th, and it's from 5 to 6, and it's a free event for the public. And it's where we honor different military men and women. And so we have a couple people that are being honored, and one of them is a Medal of Honor recipient. So we're very excited about that. And then we are also working on some things called Discovery Days for 2024, where we'll get to hear oral histories and investigate local like heritage, like the musical heritage of Augusta, or the military heritage, or the Latino culture here in Augusta. So we'll have different days focused on those at the museum. So we're very excited about that.
I also love the fact that you do the other monthly events. You do like Voices from the Past.
Oh, yeah.
You'll do a night at the museum.
Yes.
You do behind the scenes where people can actually get sort of hands-on experience going behind.
Too. Yeah. That's not an easy job, but it's so interesting.
It's so cool because history's happening right now. So this is history, and we're always collecting, we're always bringing in new artifacts to the museum, and we want people to come in and experience the museum and kind of see that they are a part of the history and that they have so much to contribute to what's going on here in Augusta now. So it's a fantastic place, and Voices of the Past is incredible. You get to hear people actually perform from like civil rights, like activists, or a Petersburg boat captain. It's incredible. So
let's go ahead and recap the event that is immediately coming up, which of course is the Museum Express. Tell us again the dates and the times for that.
So it's this Sunday, December 3rd at 11:30, 12:30, and 1:30. And then it's also on December 10th. So yeah, or 11, 1, and 3. Sorry, my bad.
All right, be sure you check that out. It's augustamuseum.org for all of the information and all the other events that they have as well.
So much coming up.
Thank you so much for coming, Chris.
Thanks so much for letting me come on.
Absolutely.
This is pleasant.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you.
Let's check in again right now. First Alert meteorologist Mikkel Hannah Harding. You got us winterized now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look at the sky, though. At least it's beautiful outside.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a nice day.
It'll feel a little bit warmer today as well in comparison to yesterday. Those winds a little less breezy, and also we'll see temperatures climbing towards those low 60s. We're looking at Grovetown, Interstate 20 right here, though. Nice flow of traffic. Few clouds out there, but overall, mostly sunny skies right now. We're looking at temperatures, though, still pretty cold, 36 degrees. So it's definitely chilly outside. The winter jacket is still needed if you haven't stepped outdoors yet. We're looking at a mixture of 30s and 40s. Even Washington still right at freezing. How about that? Up there around Clarks Hill Lake, still at 34 degrees also. As far as high temperatures for today, we'll find those in the low 60s, mostly sunny skies. Once again, a few clouds definitely could build, though, later into today, giving us some partly cloudy skies possibly, and we'll see those winds out of the south at about 3 to 8 miles per hour. As far as low temperatures tonight, we'll find those in the upper 30s and low 40s once again, so it'll be a chilly night, but definitely not as cold as it has been for the past few evenings. As far as looking looking ahead, though, at that futurecast getting into tomorrow, we are going to see things stay dry through tonight. Just noticing more cloud cover waking up tomorrow. That'll give way to some overcast skies, and then we'll see rainfall gradually building throughout our day. Definitely could be a drier start to our Friday, and it looks like as we head later into the day, things could end up a little bit wetter. But this model keeps us pretty dry for tomorrow, and we will have to see that moisture-rich air battle very dry air that's been in place for the past few days. Now, by Saturday, we should definitely see that moisture-rich air overtake that dry air, giving us better chances for widespread rainfall, some of which could be heavy at times, which you can see there indicated by our longer-range American model. Rainfall totals anywhere from about 2 to 3 inches. Isolated locations could pick up 3 inches plus, which could lead to some minor flooding issues, in particular on Saturday when the bulk of that rainfall is expected to fall. So if you do live in a low-lying, flood-prone area, just be sure to pay extra attention to the rainfall that's happening in your local area, just to make sure that you're not, at risk for any minor flooding issues. But widespread flooding not expected as we do continue to see this. But 7-day forecast improves by next week. A little bit cooler, though, for your Tuesday and Wednesday.
All right. Still a chance that the parade in Columbia County will go on Sunday. Fingers crossed.
Yes.
Definitely a chance.
That's up to you. Make that work.
I'll see what I can do.
Okay, thanks.
Busy man. Thanks, Mikkel.
No problem.
Well, the holidays can be a time of joy or a time of sadness, depending on the person and their history.
That's right. Dr. Jessica Britt Thomas is Director of Integrated Behavioral Health Science at Wellstar MCG Health, and she's joining us here this morning to talk about that. Hey,
good to see you guys again.
So let's talk about this. How can the holidays negatively impact your mental health?
Yeah, so I mean, let's be clear. It's a joyful time. We're all coming together, but sometimes it actually spots a beam light on some things that we don't have, right? Maybe we have loved ones that are no longer with us. The financial stress, which tends to be a big thing. You're spending in excess. It doesn't change the fact that you still have your normal utilities and cost of living expenses, and now you're kind of spending past your reach. And so there's a lot of different changes that happen, particularly between the Thanksgiving timeframes through New Year's, where you just feel a little bit more pressure than usually.
And let me ask you this, are the holiday blues the same as seasonal depression?
Good question. And so it's slightly different. So holiday blues is not a clinical diagnosis, right? Seasonal depression actually is. It coincides with seasonal changes from fall to winter. The days are shorter, the sun is not out as much, and so you actually see a change in people's mental states, with depression particularly. You see it more common in places like the Pacific Northwest or the New England area. We're in tropical weather, but you can still see that. Whereas the holiday, not today maybe, but the holiday blues really are specific to just the stresses around the holiday season itself. And so it's more acute, short lasting, and tends to end around New Year's, after the New Year timeframes. Okay. Yeah.
So during this time, what are some methods that you can do to deal with this?
So when we're talking about, let's say, loneliness in particular, this is the hard part, is taking a little bit of willpower to push yourself out there to say, start a new hobby, join a new organization. How about talking to that neighbor that we see every single day and we don't stop and talk to them, maybe spending a little bit more time with that. This is also a good time for getting a pet. There's lots of humane societies that have pets that are needing to be adopted. There's a lot of emotional support with animals around there. So there's a variety of things you can kind of do to push yourself out there if you're starting to notice a little bit of holiday blues come up, per se.
Those are good tips right there. And let's talk about some suggestions that we can do to maintain a good mental health.
Well, the mental health suggestions are always going to be the same, but I would say even more so in the holiday seasons, making sure you're getting good exercise, eating healthy meals, eating at least 3 meals a day. You're taking all your medications, you're following all your doctor's appointments, making a doctor's appointments. That's a big one, right? Have you been to the doctor lately? Have you spent time with family or friends? We're in the day of technology. Can we arrange a FaceTime, a check-in? Make sure you're just checking in with those when you can. So following that routine and also getting a good night's rest is big important.
And I would imagine if you are a friend or a family member noticing someone that is going through this and being proactive, correct?
Yes, yeah. So, sometimes it could take just reaching out and letting them know, hey, I see that there's been some changes. You seem a little different, or you haven't been coming to meals or meeting up as often. Is everything okay? Would you like to grab some coffee, or can we talk? Or letting them know you have that space when they're ready. Sometimes people are not ready to reach out, but you're just letting them know, extending the olive branch to when they are ready to accept that.
There when you need it. All right, great points.
Yeah.
Dr. Jessica, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, hang on. We've got the latest from Hollywood and beyond. A look at entertainment news. That's coming up next here on Morning Mix.
On to some entertainment. Jennifer Lopez is releasing her first solo album in a decade. So the album, This Is Me Now, will drop February 16th. The first single, Can't Get Enough, will be out January 10th. Lopez says the album will focus on her tough childhood, unsuccessful relationships, and the emotional journey she's experienced.
It'll also include a track titled Dear Ben Part 2. That's a throwback to her 2002 song Dear Ben about her now husband, Ben Affleck. The pair dated when the first Dear Ben was released, but of course they ended up splitting. Nearly 20 years later, reunited and now married. The same day the album drops, Lopez will also release a movie version on Prime Video. It's called This Is Me Now, the film. You know, she's doing it, Beyonce's done it, Taylor's done it. Dolly Parton.
Sure.
Yeah, everybody's on the
Hey, I'm looking forward to this
movie
album.
train.
Yes, I'm looking forward to this album. I love J-Lo. I think she puts out great music. And what are the odds, though, about this Dear Ben Part 2? Isn't that something?
Don't jinx it. That's all I
Isn't
gotta
that
say.
something, though?
I will say this: she is married to Batman, right? I tell you, in the next year, you're going to hear that J-Lo is going to be cast as some superhero in some superhero movie. She's done action movies before. She can pull it off.
She has some good movies out.
does.
She does.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, go J-Lo.
All right, so here's a chance to grab some stuff that might really tie your room together, if you know what I mean. Julian's Auctions and Turner Classic Movies are teaming up to auction off 250 items from the 1998 film The Big Lebowski. Yes, that movie. Some items included in the offerings are the T-shirt and the bathrobe that Jeff Bridges wore, sunglasses, and a bowling ball signed by the dude himself. Items are expected to sell for $500,000 to $50,000.
That's a wide span.
Oh, yeah.
500 to 50,000. Bridges says he's happy fans can get a piece of the film, and the 73-year-old actor said earlier this year he'd be open to a Lebowski sequel. The auction will take place Beverly Hills, December 16th. It honors the 25th anniversary of the cult movie.
I gotta say, if they did a sequel to The Big Lebowski, I would probably be first in line at the movie theater.
Okay, so I was going to ask.
It's just a cult classic. It's just really, it's a crazy film. You might like it. I don't even know.
So, you know, I was going to say, though, sometimes when a movie's really great, should you bring it back? Do you think this is one of those movies that will do well, or do you think it'll be a flop, and sometimes when things are good, just leave it?
You got to bring everybody back. You got to have the same vibe.
Okay.
It's kind of like Tim Burton said he would not do a Nightmare Before Christmas sequel.
Sure.
Because the first was good enough. So
I agree.
I don't know. Fingers are crossed. If they do that,
You would still check it out. A lot of people would still check it out, though.
Yeah.
But just.
hopefully I wouldn't ask for my money back. Okay.
All right, listen to this. Charlie Sheen is back in a new series, and Kelsey Grammer talks about its alter ego. Bradley Blackburn has your eye on entertainment.
This place is so stuffy. I love it.
Kelsey Grammer says reprising his role as finicky TV and radio psychiatrist Fraser Crane is like putting on comfortable clothes.
He's a wonderful character and has dynamic and variety and spontaneity sort of built into his makeup, so that putting him on again as a character was always a kind of delightful idea to me.
Beautiful boy.
In his new chapter, Fraser is back in Boston trying to reconnect with his son.
Coming up in the final episode where my son says, I want you to phrase roll over everything. And he says, I have asked you not to use my name as a verb. And I think that's apropos.
A new episode of Frasier streams today on Paramount Plus.
You take my bet, I don't take all of you fishing on my boat.
You threatening us?
Yes. Are you stupid?
The new Max series, Bookie, follows longtime LA bookie Danny, who's fending off losing his customers to legalized online gambling.
I've got Babe Ruth's autopsy report.
Charlie Sheen makes guest appearances after healing the rift with his friend and longtime producer Chuck Lorre. Sebastian Maniscalco plays Danny. First 2 episodes of Bookie stream today.
It's me. Hi.
And Taylor Swift is Spotify's most streamed artist for 2023. Racking up more than 26 billion streams, she dethrones Bad Bunny, who held the title for 3 years. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Whoa.
I didn't know that either.
I didn't know Bad Bunny, 3 years. I'm not surprised because, like I said, he's on top. Even though Taylor Swift is on top, I still think Bad Bunny is up there, and he just announced that he's going on tour again next year, and those tickets are not cheap. I've looked.
You've already looked.
But yeah, way to go, Taylor. You know, she's ruling the world right now.
It's probably a better question to ask, what list is she not top on?
True.
Right now?
Yeah.
I mean, we've said it before. She's already surpassed icon status. Whether you like her or not, I mean, you've got to admit and accept the fact that she has touched millions and millions and millions of people's lives.
1,000%. And whether you like her or not, you just have to respect her work ethic. And I just give it to her. Like, girl power. I mean, she's working for what she has.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And she likes tight ends. Travis Kelce is what I meant.
Man, and that's
Kansas City Chiefs. That's what I meant. Okay.
And that's what's making her popular too, or making him more popular, I guess, right now. Yeah.
All right. So, have you answered a social question yet? Head to our Facebook page to answer now what your word of the year would be, and then some words from Zaina as we wrap up today's show. Stand by.
Do you have a business, event, or charity that you'd like to feature on Morning Mix? Let us know. Head to WRDW.com/Morning Mix to make your submission today.
All right. Thank you to all of our guests coming in today, and thank you for watching. Before we leave you, let's check out your answers to our social question. Authentic, the word of the year for Webster Dictionary. So what would you pick as your word of the year? And yes, be nice. Kathy and Jack, hi guys. Proud because of the amazing achievements of my former students and kids.
Good one. All right. Connie's saying disappointed.
Yeah, well,
Aw.
two sides of the coin there, guys. Raynard is going with growth. I like that. Okay.
Bonnie, peace. I
Okay.
like that one too.
Teresa, really? With attitude and the eyes rolling up.
Yeah,
You got to
that
have the
emoji.
whole kit and caboodle.
John also saying peace.
Susan is saying retirement. There you go, Susan.
Gerald, blessed.
Jeff, also grateful.
All right, let's see what Jim is saying down here. It's the best word, seriously. Mine is Riz. Okay.
Okay, meaning charisma. Tamila is whoa.
Okay, Kimberly also saying bless. Linda, renewal.
Okay.
Which is a good one.
Sandra is going with also grateful.
Monica, therapy.
Gotcha, Monica. All right.
Before we say goodbye, I'm going to leave you with this quote. This one says, "Let love rule." Lenny Kravitz said that one.
Good words. Good song, by the way, too. Have yourselves a great Thursday, everybody. We will catch you next month. Oh, wait, that's tomorrow.
See you then.